Hi, welcome to our Fisheries Professional Licensure Examination Reviewer to our future fisheries professionals. We will be reviewing the topics under post-harvest fisheries. Today our topic is about methods of fish processing and preservation. So let's get started. It is the process in which moisture is removed by exposure to natural air content as humidity is regulated by climatic conditions. A. Drying. B. Dehydration. C. Salting. D. Smoking. The correct answer is A. Drying involves the evaporation of moisture from the surface of the fish and is affected by the movement of air over the surface of the fish as well as the temperature and humidity of that air. It is the process of removing moisture with the use of a mechanical device that provides artificial heat. A. Dehydration. B. Drying. C. Salting. D. Smoking. The correct answer is A. Dehydration is also the application of heat under controlled conditions to remove the majority of the water normally present in a food by evaporation. Chilling is the most common practice in keeping the freshness of fish. Which of the method chills fish faster? A. Chilled seawater. B. Wet icing. C. Refrigerated air. D. Icing. The correct answer is A. Chilled seawater chills much faster than wet ice and fish do not suffer from physical damage due to crushing. This condition is due to improper salting. A. Souring. B. Salt burn. C. Putty fish. D. Sliming. The correct answer is A. Souring is due to improper salting, which results in the uneven distribution of salt throughout the muscles of the fish. Which method of chilling is preferred for air shipment of fish, as this does not cause leakage? A. Dry ice. B. Refrigerated air. C. Gel mat ice. D. Crushed ice. The correct answer is A. Dry ice as solid carbon dioxide and cooling is affected by the evaporation preferred for air shipment. Method of salting is carried out by rubbing fish with salt just before packing, and each layer of fish is sprinkled with salt. The water removal by the salt is allowed to drain. A. Kench curing. B. Brine salting. C. Dry salting to make the brine. D. Fermentation. The correct answer is A. This process removes water by dual action, osmosis and evaporation. The fish gets dry faster than other methods. A freezing system where the product is frozen hard to the center to a temperature of 10 degrees Fahrenheit within a period of 3 hours. A. Quick freezing. B. Chilling. C. Sharp freezing. D. Glazing. The correct answer is A. This was done to exposure to a blast of air and very small crystals of ice are formed which do not rupture the cells of the food, and so the structure is relatively undamaged. The phase in drying is in which the water on or near the surface of the fish evaporates. A. Constant rate period. B. Rising rate period. C. Falling rate period. D. Evaporating rate period. The correct answer is A. In a constant drying rate period, material or mass of material containing so much water that liquid surface that exists will dry in a manner comparable to an open-faced body of water. Which of the following curing process does not aid in preserving the smoked fish? A. Fermentation. B. Drying. C. Salting. D. Pre-cooking. The correct answer is A. Fermentation is usually associated with fish sauce and barong isda and not related to smoking methods. What ingredient in pickling, marinating acts as a preservative mainly by increasing the thickness of the pickling solution, thereby lowering the water activity? A. Sugar. B. Salt. C. Vinegar. D. Soy sauce. The correct answer is A. Sugar in pickling is used to balance the tartness of the vinegar. Although the sugar can be eliminated from pickle recipes, the pickles are likely to be too sour. The following are procedures for canning of marine products except A. Thawing. B. Heat processing. C. Exhausting. Sealing. D. Cooling. The correct answer is A. Thawing is the last step of the freezing process. The ice crystals are converted back to water at the point that the temperature of the frozen marine product reaches -1 degree Celsius. It is the aim of this process to produce a partial vacuum when canning. A. Exhausting. Sealing. B. Thawing. C. Heat processing. D. Cooling. The correct answer is A. Sealing provides food an airtight environment, preventing the crystals that cause freezer burn from forming on the food. Blank is the biochemical process that causes the change in chemical and physicochemical characteristics of the fish tissues. A. Osmosis. B. Ripening. C. Diffusion. D. Curing. The correct answer is B. During this process, the fish attain their unique color, smell, and taste. The changes are carried out by enzymes causing the decomposition of proteins and fats. It is the measure of the amount of free or available water needed to support biological activity. A. Moisture content. B. Falling rate. C. Water activity. D. Enzyme activity. The correct answer is C. It controls the stability of dry and dehydrated products during processing and storage. In fish smoking, which of the following factors affect the generation of smoke? A. Type of wood. B. Temperature. C. Relative humidity. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. The type of wood influences the amount of smoke, temperature influences drying rate, faster drying, lesser smoke absorbed, higher RH favors the absorption of smoke. The blank gives flavor, attractive color, and appearance to fish as it contains volatile aromatic substances and has bactericidal effects. A. Salt. B. Enzyme. C. Temperature. D. Smoke. The correct answer is D. Smoke contains antioxidant properties. Its bactericidal properties are due to carboxylic acids and phenols. In pickling, marinating, the stage when fish has acquired the characteristic tender texture and proper blending of spices is called the blank. A. Ripening. B. Maturation. C. Reddening. D. Absorption. The correct answer is B. It is the stage when the distinct desirable characteristics of pickled, marinated products are achieved. What pickling, marinating ingredient contains antiseptic properties, makes the product firm, gives flavor, and also acts as a preservative? A. Vinegar. B. Salt. C. Sugar. D. Spices. The correct answer is A. It turns the flesh opaque and the texture firms up. It also contains acetic acid that can prevent bacterial growth. In salting, which of the following factors influence salt uptake and water loss? A. Fattiness of fish. B. Thickness of flesh. C. Freshness. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. Fat acts as a barrier to entry of salt and loss of moisture. Thickness affect the concentration of salt in the flesh. The staler the fish, the quicker salt uptake, and the greater water loss. A method of salting by which the fish is salted in a previously prepared solution of salt and water. A. Kench curing. B. Wet salting. C. Mixed salting. D. Warm salting. The correct answer is B. It is the process of soaking or immersing the fish in brine.